Hello, everyone. We are back. This is officially episode two
Tea.
of Amplified Voices podcast with Rafa. And
The voice.
yeah, the voice is still here. As I said, your voice is like the nicest voice I've heard on a podcast before. And I listen back to this podcast just to hear your voice.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's nice. Oh, we're doing it. This is episode two, first episode landed.
And I think people really got it very positive, and I think there were
I was
good
actually looking
comments.
forward to one view. One view was up, no, besides us. One more view besides us that was
Okay.
going to make a difference. But the reception that we've had, wow, I'm
It's
enjoying
really
it.
positive, and
Yeah,
I think
something
like
that sounds small to others is actually big to others, and for us is big because we're not looking forward to this, and this is actually happening.
yeah, and I think kind of being educative and helping other people. So I
Yes.
think it's been good because yeah,
So, as everyone is would have noticed by now, we took forth like what you said. You said your day seems sunny and like you're at a beach. Then we came to the beach.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Just
This
the
is lays down. We're recording live at Lays Down Beach.
and the view is really
The view is quite
nice from
nice.
my side, and it's sunny, and the sun is
It's quite
coming out
sunny.
really well.
Unfortunately, there's no rain. I would have loved to see a rainbow. Like, my day, as I predicted my day on the first episode.
Oh, that's so bad for you. Then, but my luck and really good on my side.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Wow. We're back, everyone, and we're doing it. This is episode two of the Amplified Voices. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure
Yeah.
you share so that we can also share the educative content with everyone and everyone around the world gets to hear something,
And let's make it interactive
Yeah,
and let us know what you guys want us to talk about.
yeah. As we like shared on the first episode, we'll be willing to research on the topics that you share with us, and we'll be able to also educate and inspire someone as well.
Of course, of
Wow,
course.
the voice. What a week.
I
No.
think I'm always positive. So far for me, it's really getting on well. I
is.
like going for challenges.
For me, it's not. I support Manchester United, and wow, we lost to young boys.
Oh
Imagine.
yeah, unfortunately I'm going to laugh.
That's why I'm not on Twitter right now. I'm not. I've muted
Ah.
my Twitter. I've muted my Instagram. I've muted my Facebook. I'm just on YouTube.
I know with Cristiano Ronaldo coming, you guys were really
expecting a lot.
excited. And I think, wow, let's kind of see the next time. Don't lose hope yet.
Wow.
Just hold on like Arsenal.
For me, I'm losing hope on the coach. I don't think Ole Gunnar is the coach for us. But anyway, football is just football, and it actually goes hand in hand with what we want to talk about today. We're going to talk about savings, and when you're betting and you're losing your money to betting, you bet obviously. A lot of people bet Man U was going to win with young boys, and
Yeah.
it lost. That's a loss.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
So before we go on to that, check in.
Of
Wow.
course, the best part of
Let's check
the
our moods
podcast.
today. My mood is quite jovial, as you can see.
Ah, that's good. It could be the water is being a good therapy.
Oh wow, it is. It is a good
Yeah.
therapy, innit? So, the voice.
Yes.
If you were ice cream,
That's an
how would you
interesting
describe
one.
yourself?
I think if I was an ice cream today, I would be vanilla. Vanilla being my favorite.
Okay.
I'll probably spice it up with a bit of making it like a dessert
With
kind of
cherry on top. Yeah.
yeah.
Vanilla with cherry on top.
No, I'm gonna put in some grapes, some strawberries in there, and just spice up everything. But I
Okay.
feel like I'm a vanilla because I just building on from our first episode.
Okay, nice.
I'm still very positive. I'm kind of
sweet. Your voice is sweet, by the
and
way.
I'm kind. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
the second compliment you're saying today in this podcast.
Yeah.
So it's kind of building onto that. I'm still optimistic. I'm kind of looking forward to this. I feel like I'm still productive. So
Oh, wow.
just spicing up everything, making it very nice with
That's
that
nice.
vanilla smell. So I think our vanilla would really describe how I'm feeling right now in my week so far.
Vanilla. So
Yes.
we're going to be calling you Vanilla from now, isn't it?
Well, just for this podcast.
For that, just for this one.
For
Vanilla.
this session, because
Okay.
probably if you're gonna do another check-in, I'll be different.
Different.
So,
Yeah, I know.
Because I'm always mainly positive. You find that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are, and we love your voice, and we are here for your voice anyway.
All right. I hope is that you and
That's a
many other
compliment.
people,
And
or
many
you're
other
speaking
people,
for
you know,
yourself?
you'll be shocked the messages I've been getting on my WhatsApp. Like, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Can I get it? No, she's not single. She's taken. Everyone. I think I should make it that clear. I'm also taken.
Okay,
So,
you should tell them I'm single because I'm
oh,
single.
you want to be single? Oh, she's single now.
Yes.
Do you notice anything different about me today? Anything? Wow.
You've still got the same headphones.
Oh, wow. No, I mean on me. Like me. Wow. Do I look that bad? You can't notice anything. Even if I do
Wow.
that.
Nothing.
Even my haircut.
Oh yeah. Oh, I can't really
So that's a
see
terrible
that. I
haircut.
can't really see that.
So I got a new haircut. So for my check-in, I'm like chocolate ice cream.
Oh, chocolate ice cream. Okay.
Yeah.
Why are you chocolate today?
I'm sweet, I'm nice, and I'm tasty. Just as my looks.
Oh, tell us about it.
Yeah, that could be dark chocolate, isn't it?
Okay, that's
Yeah.
making me laugh.
So I'm in a
but yeah,
jovial mood. I'm
that's
happy.
good.
I'm excited.
I told you the
I'm
water is
at the
making
beach.
its miracles.
There is, a lot to look at. We've been seeing people with what are those boat skis?
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of ships.
Yeah.
There's an island over there with some tall buildings. It's nice. It's nice. And the
Mhm.
sun was up. It was, shining, and we were enjoying everything. And I was swimming in salt water.
And how was that?
Swimming in salt water is not that exciting,
Yeah.
but I think
I
feel
I
blessed.
thought last time you said you can't swim.
No, I was standing in water. I was standing in
Okay.
ice water. I
Okay.
think it brings some blessings, like you're swimming in salt water or you're in salt water. It's not something that you can be like in every day. So I
Mhm.
think for me, it's a blessing. So I'm blessed to be here.
Yeah, we're all
Um,
blessed,
but
isn't
to
it?
enjoy the finest things in life, you have to make sure that you are good at saving. You have to make sure that you're good at your finances. You have
Yeah.
to make sure that even a dollar can change your life. A
Yeah.
dollar can do something that you can never do, without it.
Mhm.
So people have to understand that to have the financing in life, to enjoy your life, you have to start by saving
Yeah, I
whatever
think
amount that you earn.
it's about the basics in terms of saving.
Yeah.
Because in terms of financial education, there's a lot that we can learn. But I think starting on, it's about the basics. The beginners part is
Yes.
talking about savings, because we can't even really be talking about investing before
Without
we
saving.
we
Without
cover up
saving.
savings.
What will you be investing anyway if you can't save?
Exactly. So it's
Nothing.
just basically talking about putting a few dollars aside.
Oh, yeah.
So talking about whether it could be in an account, it could be in a pension account, it could be in an investment fund, it could be a cash.
Yeah.
So there's lots of methods in terms of saving.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna be talking about saving, and it's
Yeah.
one of my
Let's
favorite
talk about it.
topics.
Let's talk about
It's
it.
one of
Because
my favorite topics.
it's for me.
Mhm.
Wow. I'm not a good saver. I wasn't a good saver till you started like telling me about how you were saving and how it was working for you and the things that you're doing now that you could not do when you're not saving.
Okay.
I was a bad spender.
So should we be talking about bad habits
Yes.
that happens in terms of
Yes.
saving?
Yes.
So let's talk about bad saving habits.
Bad saving habits.
Mhm.
Oh, the first one is I would say I've made some notes on the
Okay.
bad saving habits. I've been doing all
Please
of these
feel free to share.
8. I've got 8 bad saving habits, and I've actually done a whole of them. And some that I don't even have, that I did not have time to just look at and
Okay.
just
Yeah, I
put down
think
on
8
paper.
is not bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So
we
the
can
first one
start with
I can
those
say,
ones.
yeah, not
Mhm.
paying attention to your spending. Like
Okay.
there's some people who just buy for the sake of buying,
Mhm.
and they don't get the receipt just to look back at their expenditure to say, okay, I've
Mhm.
bought this ice cream for this much. I've got this bread for this much. And after a month, how much have I spent? How much have I saved?
Does that include probably if you're not paying attention to what your expenditure, you're kind of maybe buying things that you don't need? To say I
No, no, no,
kind of
that will come. That
okay.
is on its own. That is
All
on its
right.
own, yeah.
Okay.
So if you're not paying attention, to your savings, you're basically not checking how much you've spent.
Okay.
Like if you walk into a supermarket, you walk into a clothing store, you don't pay attention to the
Okay, I get
receipt,
it
just to
now.
look back. Okay, when you get home, you get the receipt slip, then you just look and browse back. Okay, I spent £20.
Today or this
Yeah,
week
I've
or
spent
this month.
yeah,
Yeah, okay, I
I've
get
spent
it.
$20
Mm-hmm.
on a t-shirt that and so forth. That's you're not monitoring your spending. And a lot of people, they don't ask for the receipts. They're like the tip operator will be like, can I give you the receipt? And you're like, nah. But it's actually important to look at your receipt, to get your receipt. Then when you're home, you look at it, then you file it up, so that at the end of the month, you'll be able to account for the money that you've spent for that month.
Yeah,
You
that's
get it?
true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Then number 2 here, I've got making excuses. Wow.
So what's this making excuses for?
I'm one person who makes excuses and spend, when it comes to spending.
What kind
Like
of excuses
you
do you
you be
make?
making excuses. You were talking about, defining a want and a need. So
Okay.
there's a difference between something that you want and
Mhm.
something that you need.
Mhm.
Something that you want, you can do without.
Yeah,
Okay,
true.
like today, I might say I want ice cream, but if I don't get it, I will
Mhm.
survive.
Yeah, that's true.
But a need is something that I need for my survival. I need water to
Mhm.
survive. So if I don't get water, tomorrow I'll be thirsty. The next
Mhm.
day, I might not survive.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's a need.
Mhm.
So if you are making excuses, it's like you're buying wants
Mhm.
instead of needs. You're
Mhm.
buying ice creams, sweets,
Mhm.
chocolates, unnecessary things.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's
And you make
that's
an excuse that it's
yeah.
just maybe it's just $20
Like I
that
want
I'm
this. I
using.
want this. It's just $20 for this. I want this mic. When I started this podcast, I didn't have much, enough money to start the podcast, but I was like, I want this mic. But I could go next month and just buy the same mic. But since I wanted it, and it wasn't it, if I didn't get it, I was still going to survive
Yeah, that's
up until
true.
next month. So I'm one person who's good at wants and
Mhm.
not needs.
Okay.
Then number 3, eating out and
Restaurants and
takeouts.
takeaway.
This is not a spoiler for like takeouts, restaurants, and everything. The KFCs, the Nando's. We love Nando's. We love KFC. But at the end of the day, that's a lot of expenditure. You'll be spending more buying takeouts than just cooking at home. Just buy your food stuffs, then you just prepare a meal. It doesn't have to be much. Just rice, some gravy, some meat, and some greens. Don't forget the greens. It works out like that. So
Mhm.
eating out and takeouts actually you spend more money.
Yes, than just making a home
Yeah.
cooked meal.
I used to know when I was a bachelor once.
Yeah.
Now I'm saying when I was a bachelor once. I moved
It's
out of that
history
space.
now.
Yeah. When I was a bachelor, I would be like, no, I'd rather buy my supper than to
Yeah.
make supper. I'll buy my lunch and I'll buy my supper. But the money that I would spend on lunch and supper, if I saved that money, I would be
You would have
somewhere
made
else.
a meal
Yeah, yeah,
or for
yeah.
like 2 or 3 days
Yeah,
probably.
true.
Mhm.
Because you buy a meal for $2 or £2, your lunch, then you buy your supper, at £3-4, or if you would save £7 in total per
Mhm.
day, that's a lot of money per year. After
Yeah.
12 months, that's a lot of money after 5 years. So a lot of takeouts will also cut on your savings.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Then
true. I agree.
number 5, I would say worrying about what other people have. And this is
Yeah.
a problem, especially to men. Like you
Is
see,
it also to men?
mm,
I thought it's only women.
wow,
Yeah.
this is a problem like with us men.
Okay. I thought it's
Like,
only women because we do that a
wow,
lot.
wait
Mhm.
till you see your friend driving a Range Rover
Yeah.
and you're driving a Datsun.
Mm.
Wow. You'll be like, why is he driving a Range Rover? I gotta have this.
Really?
I have to buy this
Because I
Range
thought it's
Rover.
only with women because we always want the latest handbag, we want the
Oh, wow.
latest outfits, want the latest hair.
After seeing it with another woman
Yeah,
on
probably
TV.
my friend, or kind of
Oh,
say my
wow.
friend say, okay, let's get this, or we're doing this holiday because
It happens with men, but men, we love expensive stuff, expensive watch, expensive phones, expensive cars.
that's even new to me. I thought women we are
Wow, we
more
do.
spenders than men.
Shoes. Wow,
Okay.
shoes. If I see my friend working with a Nike, I want the same, no, a better Nike than his. I
Really?
want something better
I thought
than
it's
his.
mainly women. It's quite interesting
So
to find out today.
that's bad spending. So you shouldn't, like, if you look at someone and you just want what they're wearing or what they're driving, be content with yourself. Don't buy things just for the sake of just buying.
Yeah.
Buy things like everything for the sake of
Depending on your
depending on your need.
Yeah.
On your needs. Buy things that you really need. So number 6, I would say monthly subscriptions.
Okay.
The Netflix,
Amazon.
the Amazon. It's nice when you're watching Netflix, but it's bad when you just look at your expenditure.
Yeah, sometimes you can, maybe Netflix might be helpful, but then sometimes I think in terms of subscriptions, you can maybe have an Amazon account, but you never use it. Or maybe you never use Netflix, Spotify, or any other ones, but you don't really use them.
You're subscribed to YouTube.
But you just think maybe it's like £5 or £10. You're like, oh my God, that's not much. But I think if you calculate it, by the end of the year, you would have just given
money
out
that you would have spent. Then you have
£100 for.
Then you have got your internet as well. Buy bundles first so that you watch this podcast.
Yeah.
But don't you have a lot of subscriptions. I will not say don't subscribe to what. No. Because I want subscribers as well. We want subscribers as well. So we won't say don't subscribe to this, but limit your subscriptions so that
to the ones you actually use.
To the ones that you actually
that
use.
Are really helpful.
Not the ones that you just subscribe and let. Then number 7, I'll go to shopping convenience.
Okay, which one is that one? Shopping convenience.
Shopping convenience, I'm talking about if you're doing your groceries, let's say you're doing your groceries on a weekly basis, then you forget to buy a butter on that particular week. Leave it. Don't go to a convenience store to look for butter.
Really?
Leave it for next week.
So what am I going to use then if I don't have?
Leave it. Just eat bread without butter. You won't die. The need and the want.
It now.
The need and the want. You need butter. You want butter.
What about just going back to the shop and buy it?
No. That's shopping convenience. Because a lot of times when you buy groceries, you tend to say, okay, I've left out peaches, I've left out bananas.
I thought when you said shopping convenience, I thought you said you're talking about sometimes when you walk into a shop, maybe you're walking into Tesco, Superstore, and you're there for groceries, but then you just found out, there's some nice...
It's part of that.
Yeah.
It's part of that. It's part of that.
Yeah, because that's the reason why they've been doing that in terms of their marketing strategies. Because you just say, okay, I want to buy this, but you see some lovely handbags or some slops.
But this one is quite prominent with a lot of people. You got into a supermarket, obviously you will tend to forget something. You forget at least bread. Don't buy the bread.
But how are you going to eat the whole week?
Rice. If you've got rice, eat the rice.
Okay.
If you've got flour, make the bread at home.
Okay.
So you end up spending more. Because convenience shops, they charge more than superstores.
Okay.
So you won't notice it because you just buy your sugar at $2. You buy your bread at $2. But in a supermarket, the same sugar that you're buying at $2 costs $1.
Yeah.
The same bread that you're buying at $2, it costs 50
cents.
cents.
Yeah.
So just leave it for that week. Then the next week, you can go back and buy the same bread that you've missed out. Then we also talk about what you were highlighting. If you make a list of things that you want to buy in a supermarket, stick to the list.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't do impulse buying.
Yeah, impulse buying is the one, yeah.
I used to do that. Walk into a store, I'm looking forward to buying maybe 2 liters.
So are you saying you don't have any bad habits now?
I do.
Because you kind
I'm
of
a human
saying,
being.
You keep
I'm
saying
I used to.
Okay,
I used to,
right,
but I'm
that's fine
changing.
then.
Because this is my list. I'm making my list so that I can just check back at what I was doing wrong, and if it helps someone, it helps. Because I used to do that. Then I put here buying unnecessary items. I used to buy unnecessary items like
Mm.
cars. I'm into cars. I used to buy second-hand cars. Like every time I get money, when it's like okay enough to buy a car, I'll just go and buy
Mm-mm.
a car.
And then you just change your
I
car,
drive it
or
for
were
a
you
week,
just
then I change it.
holding them?
Drive a car for about 3-4 months. Now I feel like I don't like it. Let me change it.
Okay, you
So
were living the life then.
no, it's not living the life. That's spending. And those are
Okay.
better habits of spending. If I would have saved that money, I would have done something meaningful with that money.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it. That's what I would just say for
In terms
now.
of the bad
But as a
habits, yeah.
joke, as a joke,
Okay.
some people will feel offended. I know men will feel offended with this one. Was people don't really want people like people to talk about marriage is a good thing. They're like, oh wow, is it a good thing? Really?
Okay.
Okay. So I don't want to really like get into
You're
people's
apologizing
spaces.
before you say.
Yeah, because this point is going to disappoint a lot of people.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not being sexist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just it's a joke.
Mm-hmm.
So it says women are
Mm-hmm.
good because they give sound advice.
Yeah.
But 99% is just sound and 1% is advice.
Well, sometimes it's necessary for us to make the noise.
It means women just talk a lot.
It's lovely. We talk. And I think in our talking, as much as even if you get the 1%, we are good to go because we make
You're
sense.
good to go. You're good to go. Yeah. So what do you have for us, the voice, on savings?
I
Yeah.
was thinking we're going to talk about, since you've kind of covered the bad habits, I was
Yeah.
thinking about then we can't just leave people with the bad habits. What are
Yeah.
we talking in terms of the positive habits, the good saving habits?
Yeah.
So I think the good starting point is what you have covered. You've
Okay.
spoken about like bad habits. So I'm
Yeah.
think just encouraging people to identify the bad habits that are standing
Mhm.
on the way in terms of positive saving habits, like the
Yeah.
ones you've been highlighting.
Yeah.
So it could be maybe there are one or two that people could be thinking are the
Yes.
same. And then in terms of saving, I would say before I kind of list like how you were listing, I
Yeah.
would say start a little bit to put on the side, like
Okay.
whatever money you've got. It could be $20, it could be $50 that you can put on a monthly
Anything that you get.
basis.
Anything
Yeah.
that you get.
So there's no
So
excuse.
you don't need to have a million to start saving.
Exactly. So you don't have an excuse to say, okay, I'm waiting for my money to be
Yes.
much. And kind of like what you're talking about, don't live beyond your income, or to be tempted to say, even if your
Wow.
income increases, you'll be like, okay, then maybe I need to increase my life.
Um,
Yeah. So
If I was staying at a B&B
Mm.
before, I need to stay at a 5-star hotel because now I'm making a lot of dough. Yeah.
that doesn't make sense
doesn't
because
make
you
sense,
kind
yeah.
of just not have made any changes.
Yes.
So in terms of like having a positive saving habits, first thing I would say is change your mindset in terms of how you view money and savings. Take away the negative things that make you feel like you're not good in terms of money. Shift and get into getting new information.
Yeah.
Listen to more materials like this that will kind
Yeah.
of tell you about savings.
Yeah.
Read books as well that kind of help you, that are kind of talking about, because I know some people don't want to address stuff about saving,
Yeah,
about
yeah,
money.
yeah, they
It kind
don't.
of helps as well. I'm just going to list these ones, but I've got 3 ones that I'm going to focus on
Yeah.
more. But the other ones I'm just going to list and go through them. Understand your current financial position. So in terms of be clear and be honest with yourself. I know sometimes it's
yeah.
really hard to kind of look at what are your incomes, what versus what is outgoing.
What is
So
outgoing?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna come back to that later on. And the one that I'd put as well, number 3, is set yourself targets. So we're talking
Okay.
about small targets. Start somewhere. Remember, we said you can even start saving with $5. You
Yeah,
can
with
even
$5 you can
start
start,
saving
yeah,
with $10.
yeah.
So we're talking about put yourself a small target. Say, okay, this is what I want to do, and build that target, because the whole point is for us to go to another step, to
Yes.
go to another level.
Yes.
Set a figure for yourself, something that's more realistic that you know you're gonna achieve. So I'm just kind of listing them,
Yeah,
and then I'm
yeah.
just gonna focus on 3
Yeah, I'm
ones.
following. I'm following actually.
So the other one that's very important is tackle and negotiate any debts. So obviously we might have any like loads of debts or other things,
Yeah.
because maybe you're in a financial difficult, know how much are you owing,
Yeah.
and kind of have a clear plan in terms of how
Paying
you're
back.
gonna be paying back that,
Yeah.
because paying that back would kind of help you
It
to
frees you.
exactly,
And it frees your mindset
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
and it leads you to the road of kind of feeling how you're gonna be making sure that your finances are in place.
Yeah.
And then we kind of move on to talk about, you think of investing,
Yeah.
but we're going to talk about investing later on.
Yeah.
And
investing is a topic
it's
on its
another
own.
topic,
Yeah,
but we're
it's a
talking
topic
about
on its own.
positive saving
Before you invest,
habits.
you have to start by saving.
Yes.
Yes.
And then the last one that I'm just going to highlight is finding a support system. So it could be your friends, your family, or like what I said, subscribing to
Yeah.
things like this when you're kind of hearing stuff like this to help you to start your journey, in terms of understanding how do you start your journey to having a financial liberation or
yeah.
financial independency. So I've kind of said I'll come back and
Yeah, you
focus
say
on
on the three that you mentioned.
yes. So the one that I'm going to focus on is set up a goal.
Wow.
Yeah. No matter
Okay.
how much small it is, and making them smart. You know what we
So you are saying basically that it helps to have those, like when you get to a new month, new year, when you get to the new year, you'll be
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm setting my targets for this year. I'm gonna be doing this and this and
It
this.
might not be too
Those
late.
are the New Year's resolutions that
It
we're
might not
told
be
to
too
do.
late because now we are in September. Still, someone can start
Yeah.
doing this now or
Yeah,
even
exactly,
next month.
exactly.
So it doesn't have to
You
be.
can
It's
start
good
anyway,
to
yeah.
start in December or January, but you can also start even in October.
Yes.
Because the more you keep saying, okay, I'm gonna do it later, or procrastination
Won't change
is
anything.
it's not gonna help you, because you're gonna say, okay, we're in September, let me wait for January.
Yes.
But
yes.
you've already, there's October, there's November, there's December, so you might as well start.
Yeah.
So the one I said is set up a goal, no matter how much small it is. You know where you want to go. So making them smart. So we're talking about being specific. Those
Yeah.
goals, make them they're measurable. You know when that smart thing says.
Yeah.
Make them attainable. You're being realistic. You're not gonna say, oh, I want 1 million, when you know you can't achieve a million.
That, yeah.
Or you can't say I want 100,000. You know that's gonna be too
I
far.
want a 25-bedroom house this month.
So we are talking about setting up that goal in terms of what do you want to do with that money that you're saving, and be realistic about it. Like what you've said, say you can't put something that's unrealistic, because it's just gonna discourage you in terms of moving towards to it. And make something that's timely or trackable. You're kind of going to time it to say, okay, how far have I gone this 2 months, this 3 months? So we're kind of looking at, maybe if you're saying I'm doing a weekly budget, or I'm saying a monthly saving, is that something that's really smart?
That's really smart. Yeah.
So
I get it. Yeah.
Is that kind of making sense? I hope it's something.
It's making sense. It made sense to me when I was because my targets, like whenever I was told to make New Year's resolutions, I would make targets that I cannot achieve, that I cannot attain. Then at the end of the year, I'm like, man, this doesn't work. Saving doesn't work. I would go back to those advice where which would teach you, like, better spend your money whenever you get your money, spend it, because life doesn't wait for you.
But those are bad habits. You already covered
those
bad
are bad habits.
We are in the positive side now, so let's keep moving.
So I get what you're saying. This is the same thing that you told me when I started saving, and it's working out for me.
Yeah, so I think it's about setting something that's realistic. So sometimes if you set too many goals, you're unlikely not to achieve them. But even if you set one goal or two goals and you run with that, you kind of are progressive, and
What have you achieved this year? What were your targets? Like, it's before year end, and you can actually help someone.
I'm gonna share about my targets.
Wow.
When it
tell us one thing that you've achieved this year.
One thing that I've achieved.
Yeah.
I think I'll share a general one, because I think what I did in my previous year. But should it be only about savings or anything else?
You've saved, then you have achieved something.
Okay, I don't want to have a spoiler. I'll probably share that in another episode. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's
fine. You can hold on to that.
That's fine. We'll watch.
And I'll kind of bring it back and kind of share.
The year is yet to end.
Because I'm just making it. Remember, you shouldn't share your stuff before it's kind of.
For me, it's like I've managed to save. That's my target. I wanted to save, and I've managed that. So
Okay.
that's my achievement. It can be an achievement to anyone else.
Uh-huh.
I've managed to save,
Yeah.
whether it's $10,
Mhm.
$20, but I've managed to remove a chunk of my earnings and put it aside and
Which
not
is
use it.
good.
Yeah,
Well done. Well
that's good.
done.
Yeah.
Because we're all hearing about some of your bad habits. So I'm sure it's really a good
I had a lot
progress.
of bad habits. Yeah.
So I was just gonna talk about
Yeah.
having a clear, the second one, because remember I'd said having a goal, something, even if don't underestimate your goals, because
Yeah.
they are really something that's personal and specific to you.
Yeah.
Then the second one is having a clear budget or expenditure. This is what I said before, to say
Yeah.
know what's coming in and what's going out.
What's going on? Yeah.
So we're talking about, I think it goes back to what you said in terms of your wants and your needs.
Yeah.
Be clear in terms of your bills. Either you've got rent or you've got a mortgage.
Yeah.
Are we talking about your electricity bill? Are we talking about
Telephone.
water? Are we talking about phone
Netflix.
bills? Are we talking about Wi-Fi? All your outgoings, write them down to kind of find out how much are you using.
Yes.
And then you also have a column as well that talks about what are your incomes.
Yeah.
And kind of be sure. So in terms of everything that you use, so that's kind of really clear for you. It helps in identifying essentials, necessities,
Yeah.
and
It does help.
desirables.
Yeah.
So you're kind of sure that, okay, on a monthly basis, this is the necessity that we need to survive each and every day. And these are our essentials, and this is something that we desire and we can do without. So
yeah.
you're kind of helping up to be clear to say, okay, in terms of, I'll just give an example. Say, oh, in terms of our expenses, they're going to be $50. That's just a random.
Okay.
So they're going to be $50 in terms of everything, our mortgage, our electricity. So it kind of helps then if you're getting about then $70 or
Yeah.
$100. So you're clear on what
on
are your expenses
expenses. Yeah.
and what are your income.
Oh yeah.
Does that kind of make it very clear?
Yeah, it's very
Okay.
clear.
So it helps as well, kind of moving on. And I feel like what kind of helps as well is
Yeah.
in terms of types of accounts
Yeah.
also help. I know
Oh yeah.
some people, so in terms of, some people might say, okay, some other countries.
Oh, I was just told you. I was waiting for this. I was waiting for people to just pass here so that people don't see it's a background. People will will start to say, no, it's just a background. So there are people walking
But you
past.
already told them that we are at the beach.
Nah,
Unless you've got
people don't
history of not
believe, yeah.
telling them the truth.
people don't believe until they see you at a beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was just saying, maybe sometimes having types of accounts or ways of saving that money can help as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, you might say in terms of types of accounts, you can have an account where your salary comes in.
Yeah.
So you would have different accounts, but I know some people can have a debate, say, okay, maybe in our country, bank accounts are not really fun. We said you can still save your money in other ways that are actually helpful.
Yes. Yeah.
So maybe, for
Piggy
example,
banks.
yeah. For example, I can say you can have a current account where your salary comes in, or whether other sorts of income comes in, because it's not everyone who just does a salary. Some people
You
are
don't need a salary.
some people are self-employed, or some people have got their businesses, or
Yes.
some other people have got dividends, any other source of
We have
income.
got YouTube.
Yeah, it's other source of incomes that are kind of coming in. So that's where your current account would be. And sometimes
Yeah.
it's just kind of helpful to have all your the essentials and what we're talking about, the necessities
Yeah.
coming into through that account. And then you can also have an emergency fund.
Yeah.
So that kind of maybe a different account
Yeah.
that would kind of help in case if you have something that needs immediate
Immediate
attention.
attention, yeah.
So we do have a lot of emergencies. It could be maybe you have to travel for a funeral, or you have to have something that needs urgent attention. You could kind of go into
if your
emergency
parent,
fund.
if your child breaks a leg.
Yeah, something that like health.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
in
of
terms
course,
of those things, you can kind of have an emergency fund, and also have an account where you do short-term goals. So we're talking about if you're looking about a car, holidays, other
Yes.
things that are not really very essential, but
Yeah.
are kind of short-term
They're kind of
things.
short-term,
Because
yeah.
you just can't think, okay, like me, I want to go to Maldives. I can't just wake up and say, okay, I want to go to
You still want
Maldives.
to go to Maldives?
Yeah, so I have to
What
kind
about
of
blue waters? Yeah.
yeah.
You can just swim. Yeah.
So I can at least save, and then move towards going Maldives.
Yes.
And then the last one I was going to talk about is have a long-term savings account. We're talking about maybe it could be
Mm-hmm.
property, it could be big investments. Have that account
Yeah.
because sometimes what we do is when you're taking money and using it for the now and using it for the once, you're
Yeah.
stealing from your future.
Oh yeah, you are. You
Exactly.
are.
So I think I've just tried to summarize it, but I
You
think
have,
the
yeah.
main thing is having the right attitude, slowly teaching yourself
It
into
builds
the
up.
culture of saving money because where money is valued, it will
Yeah,
stay.
it will stay.
But if it's not valued, it will
It
just
doesn't
disappear
stay.
and you'll be
And the
like, oh my
money doesn't
God.
stay. That's what I used to
Exactly.
do.
Because even
Money
sometimes
doesn't
some
stay.
people can get about 10,000 for their salary, but their expenses are like 10.2. So even if their salary is
Doesn't
high,
work.
it's just not gonna work.
That's the same thing
Mhm.
that I used to think. Like football stars, they earn a lot of money. You
Mhm.
hear someone earning 300,000 every Friday
Mhm.
per week.
Mhm.
300,000 per week. Then
Yeah.
obviously the expenses are maybe up to 250,000. It doesn't work. So you have to make sure that you spend according to your earnings.
Yeah,
You
that's
keep
true.
on like,
Not really spend according
oh
to your
no.
earnings.
Don't spend according to your earnings,
Exactly.
but
You
save. Continue to save.
don't
Even
keep
if
stealing from your future
yes, don't steal from your
because
future.
people believe that you should first spend and then what you have, that's what you put in your
put inside,
savings. But
yeah.
it shouldn't be like that.
No.
When you calculate your expenditures, you're clear that you use a certain figure. So your priority is kind of saving first
Yeah.
and paying
Save first.
yourself. So when you're kind of saving towards your long-term goals, you're paying yourself first. But if you're just eating the money and not going anywhere, you're stealing from yourself. You're stealing from your future.
Yeah, and you're stealing for your kids. So that's savings. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I continue to learn
Which
each
is
and every
great.
day.
Remember, which, like what I said,
Yeah.
it's about us
about-
interacting
yeah.
and us talking.
Educating, inspiring people to save,
Mhm.
educating people about savings. It sounds like something that won't happen. Like you need to have 1,000 to save money, but even if you have $100, you can still save.
Even if it's
If you save,
$10.
if you've got $10 and you save $5, that $5 you're going to see it after a year that
Mhm.
you've made a very good idea. I used to see tourists coming to, visit going to places.
Mhm.
My country, I used to see a lot of tourists. Then I would ask them, I myself, I'm staying in this country. I've been in this country for quite a long time, but I've never visited, these places that you're going to. How is it possible? Like we don't have a lot of money, but we save.
Yeah, they save towards the holidays, like
We
what I was
save towards the
talking
holiday.
about.
We've got
Yeah.
accounts for holidays. We've got accounts for, basics and everything else. So it's possible. It's achievable. This goal is achievable. So it's not something that we're just talking about. It's something that other people have tried and other people have done, and
it's about growing together.
growing together. So today, wow,
Yeah.
insightful, isn't it?
Very insightful and very helpful.
Unfortunately, we're not going to play any game
Okay.
because we don't want to hold our listeners, our viewers hostage.
Okay.
So we're just calling it a wrap.
Yep.
It is a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying tuned. Make sure you watch our episodes. We'll be bringing a lot of content.
Yeah, pause and feel
Yeah.
free, like we say, to suggest any
Suggest
other
anything.
interesting things that you want to hear
We listen
in the next coming sessions.
Yeah, we also take up your topics. We do the research. Then we also bring up everything that we've researched, and we aim to
and also
inspire.
giving other examples like the ones we've had from the host about the
Yes.
bad habits.
Yeah.
I'm sure you didn't tell. I'm not sure if you told us some of the current ones, but I think it's good to know that
Yes.
it's something that's realistic.
It's very realistic. I used to do that. Yeah, I used to do that. I was a bad spender,
Yeah.
but now I'm saving and it works. So make sure you subscribe, you like, and until next time.
Later.
Later.